question regarding Juan Soto. David Stern had just mentioned to us that he's going to be switching from right field to left field for this season. He mentioned he was working out there for the Dominican team for the WBC. He mentioned the conversation came about organically. I'm just curious how your conversations with Juan went this off season and kind of getting to that place and him heading to left field.
Yeah, I had a lot of conversations with Juan throughout the off season. I visited him in the Dominican Republic, and it wasn't until probably late December when we started getting closer to roster construction with the WBC that I asked him on a conversation that we had. I said, "Where are they going to have you playing in the Dominican Republic?" And he said, "I'm playing left field. Tatis is going to play right field." I was like, "How do you feel about that?" And he was very honest. That's a position that I feel comfortable as well. When I first came up with the Nationals, my first 2.5, 3 years, I played in left field. They moved me to right. My last year I was in right field. Then I get traded to the Padres. So he started going down the road. Then it's like the following year, Tatis was back and they put me in left field. I think that was my best year with outfield assists and things like that. And I said, which one, you feel more comfortable? And it's like, I feel really good at both, he said, but I'm getting ready to play left field. And say, I just asked him, how would you feel to play left field for us? And it's like, I'm willing to do whatever. If you want me to pitch, Mandy, I'll pitch. Kind of like with that smile, right? And then I was like, is that something that now, seriously speaking here, is that something that you will consider? And if it makes sense for both, it's like, absolutely. Like I said, he reinforced it and said, I'm comfortable in right, I'm comfortable in left, whatever the team needs. So I got off the phone with him and gave David a call, and that's how the whole process started it. And then, we wanted to make sure, roster construction, where were the pieces and things like that. It just got to a point where it made more sense for us to go ahead and do it. So
that what you said, it started in December, and then you guys probably talked about it maybe last month in January about.
Yeah, it was towards the end of December. I can't really, because I had so many conversations with him, and this was what, and then early in the off season, you don't know how rosters for the WBC are going to shape out.
Right.
So once we started closer to, for this baseball team to start announcing their teams, the conversation, I think we were kidding against, like the Venezuelan team compared to the Dominican team. It's like, oh, by the way, where are they going to have you play?
Right.
And that's when, the left field conversation came up, and he took me down the road when he first came up, like I mentioned, and, his year with the Padres. He also mentioned with the Yankees, they had him playing left field when they were playing the Red Sox at Fenway Park. So he's like, he was very honest and very genuine about it. So that's kind of how I decided to move forward with it.
Great. Thanks, Carlos.
Next up, we'll go to Laura.
Hey, Carlos. I was just wondering what your reaction was to the Francisco Lindor news. And I guess, what's your level of optimism that he will be ready for opening day?
Knowing Francisco, I'm optimistic, even if he has to go the surgery route. I found out a couple of days ago, and I didn't think much of it. This is a guy that's played through a lot, but for him to say something this early, I was kind of like on the back of my head. I was like, sure enough, he's like David mentioned, he's going to go see the doctor. And again, if we have to go that route, I'm optimistic that he'll be ready to play shortstop for us on opening day.
If that were not to happen, I mean, what would you consider your plan B, considering, you're trying to acclimate Bo Bichette to third base, but you do have a lot of shortstops on the roster?
Yeah, so right now, Bo's going to get a lot of work at third base. We got to get him used to that position, Polanco, Simeon at second base. If we get to a point where we're getting closer to opening day, and as we're getting updates from Lindor, if ends up getting the surgery, then we will have to adjust. But as of right now, we go with the guys that we got in camp here. And like I said, we'll revisit again as we get closer to opening day.
Thank you.
If you don't mind, as we call on you, if you could state your full name and your affiliation, that'd be great. We're going to go with John.
Hey, Carlos. John Parado from Yard Barker Sports. You've had a whole lot of changes to your roster, a lot of guys coming, a lot of guys going. Now that the dust is kind of settled, I wonder what you think of your club here at the beginning of spring training.
I'm excited. Feel good about a lot of the players that we were able to bring in, guys with playoff experience, guys with, World Series experience. I like the depth of our pitching staff. I like the versatility from the position player group, the athleticism, the balance in the lineup. So it's an exciting group. Now we got to go out and do it. But again, good with where we are as a team right now.
Okay, thank you.
Edgard?
Hola Carlos, por acá Edgar González de HSM Deportes de Venezuela. Te pregunto en primer lugar por los venezolanos, ¿cómo piensas manejar la receptoría con Francisco Álvarez y Luis Torrens para esta campaña? Y la segunda va de la mano con la llegada de Freddy Peralta. ¿Qué crees que te puede ofrecer él? Y si ya tienes una idea de cómo armar la rotación de cara a lo que viene.
Sí, mira, con Francisco y con Luis, de la misma manera como lo hemos hecho los años anteriores, especialmente cuando los dos están sanos, ¿no? Nos sentimos bastante cómodos con los dos jugando detrás del plato. Obviamente Torrens fue finalista para el Guante de Oro el año pasado durante la ausencia de Albi, pero Albi va a ser el titular. Albi va a recibir la mayoría de las oportunidades. Lo que tenemos es que rezar que él se mantenga sano, que los dos se mantengan sanos, porque nosotros somos un equipo completamente diferente cuando los dos están saludables y jugando a su mayor capacidad. Con respecto a Peralta, súper contento, ¿verdad?, de lo que él añade a la rotación de nosotros. Un lanzador que ha sido el número uno prácticamente con la organización de Milwaukee en los últimos años. Una gran persona. En lo que se refiere con el orden de la rotación, mira, todavía son 6 semanas que pasan muchas cosas. Tenemos que esperar que pasen los días, que se sigan desarrollando, que se sigan con su progresión y pues tendremos las decisiones de cómo los vamos a alinear para el Opening Day.
Next, we'll go to Rashid.
Hey, Carlos. Rashid McDonald, Rashid Sports Media. This season, the roster looks very different when you look at the additions of Freddie Peralta, Marcus Semien, Bo Bichette, and others. In 2024, the locker room unity fueled a late playoff push, and last season, things didn't end you guys' way. So how do you, as a team, build leadership this year so that it's a strength from day one?
Yeah, I think that's as one of the priorities here in the early going in spring training with so many new faces, not only from the player side, but the coaching staff. That's, like I said, that's going to be a priority here for us to make sure we start those relationships, getting to know each other, because that's the key. Once you get to 162, you're going to go through ups and downs, and how strong those guys are in there, whether it was 2024, 2025. I think we got to go out and do it. We got to go out there and execute and play our games. But I'm happy. I'm excited about some of the new faces that we added to our roster, and now we just got to, like I said, build that foundation moving forward.
Next, we'll go to Ana Luisa.
Hola, Carlos. Ana Luisa Arias para Diario Libre y Grandes en los Deportes. La segunda base el año pasado fue, vamos a decir que se switchó mucho de jugadores. Este año tienen a Jorge Polanco. ¿Cuáles son las expectations for him in this position?
Polanco lo firmamos para que jugara primera base. Él va a jugar primera base. Obviamente es un infield que ha jugado segunda, Sior, pero nosotros lo traemos para que juegue primera base. Marcus Semien es el que va a jugar la segunda base. Sabemos la calidad de pelotero defensivamente que es. Ha ganado guantes de oro, es un jugador élite en esa posición. Pues en este momento, pues los planes es para que Semien juegue segunda base y Jorge pueda estar en la primera base y de designado también.